All right, I wanted to just run through those last 4 examples with you. So we did 1, 2, 3 examples when a is equal to 1. We did 1 example when a is equal to a number greater than 1. So I'm going to do 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. Then I'm going to do 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. Then I'm going to come back to the last 2 where a is again 1. So remember, the rule is that when you have ax squared plus bx plus c, what is the same as ax squared plus bx plus c. So here a is 4, b is 12, and c is 9. What we're doing is we are finding a pair of numbers that multiply to equal a times c. That same pair of numbers should add to equal the b number, okay? So here, instead of saying a times c, since a was just 1, we said it was equal to c, which was 16. Good. But since a is not 1 for the 4x squared plus 12x plus 9, we're going to call this a times c rather than just c. You can also call this c times a, which would just be 16 times 1, which is still 16. So in this case, it should multiply to equal 4 times 9, right? 4 times 9 is 36. I don't know why I keep drawing lines over it like that's like I'm about to start a list because I had to do 3 different times. And then our b is 12, so it needs to multiply to equal a positive 36, and it needs to add to equal a positive 12. So that means I know I only need to focus on the factors of 36 that are positive. So I'm going to ignore all the negatives. So I'll start with 1 and 36, 2 and whatever 36 divided by 2 is, 18. And I can say, is 36 divisible by 3? And if you can just, if one pops into your head, that's fine too. 3 and 12. You can stop and add them to make sure none of them equal 12. 36 divided by 4 is 9. What is with all these lines I'm drawing? Like I'm done with something. 36 is not going to be divisible by 5, but we can divide it by 6, right? So 36 divided by 6 is 6. And I've gone all the way down the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back to 6. So those are all the factors of 36. Which ones, the pair of numbers adds to 12? No, 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 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, almost, but not. 6 plus 6 is 12. So that's what I meant by it might just pop into your head. I know that 36 is 6 times 6. I know that 6 plus 6 is 12. Done, right? So now we take those numbers, we keep the a. So this is still 4x squared. Instead of 12, we're going to change it to 6x and 6x, and then we're going to keep c. Good? Now, I can't factor all 4 of these at once. I'm going to factor by grouping. 4x squared and 6x, I can divide both of those by 2x, right? 4 divided by 2 is 2. X squared divided by x is x. 6 divided by 2 is 3. X divided by x, it's going to look like that. Next group, positive 6x and 12. Since that's a plus, I want to put a plus here, and I'm going to make the factor a positive factor. What can I divide both 9 and 6 by? The number 3. I can't use any x's because the 9 doesn't have any x's, so I'm just going to say 3. 6x divided by 3 is 2x. Positive 9 divided by 3 is a 3. What I should have at the end, how I know I'm okay, is I have the same binomial for both sides. That means I can factor out the binomial. So that then becomes 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. Ooh, so that was a square. If it's the same being multiplied by itself, you can write it like that. So that's the answer to this one. 2x is actually the square root of 4x squared, and 3 is the square root of 9. Okay, let's go on to 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. So before we go on, let's look at this. X squared plus 8x plus 16, the square root of x squared is x, the square root of 16 is 4. X plus 4 squared gave us that. So that formula is that a plus b squared will give us a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, if that helps. All right. So here we have multiply to equal a times c, add to equal b. So it needs to add to equal 24. It needs to multiply to equal 9 times 16, 144. We could just say, what is the square root of 144, right? It's 12. Is 12 plus 12 24? It is. So we're going to say 144 is 12 times 12. Or you can go down the list. 1 and 144, 2 and 72, 3 and 48, 4 and 36, 6 and 24, 8 and 18, 9 and 16, and the last one is 12 times 12. Then you're going to think which ones add to 24, not that one. Nope. It was 12 plus 12, right? So then that becomes 9x squared plus 12x plus 12x plus 16. There's nothing you can factor out of all of them. So let's look at 9x squared plus 12x. I can divide them both by 3x. So I have 3x on the outside. 9x squared divided by 3x is 3x. 12x divided by 3x is 4. And then over here, I have a positive 12x and a positive 16. So that's going to be a positive number that I'm going to factor out. 12 and 16, I can divide them both by 2, but I can also divide them both by 4. So that might be a better choice. 4 and 4. So plus 4. When I take 12x and I divide it by 4, I get 3x. When I get 16 and divide it by 4, I get 4. Those are the same, so that's a good sign. 3x plus 4. And then I take those two terms and multiply, add them together and multiply them by the original. And so again, that was a square. 3x plus 4 squared. 3x squared is 9x squared. 4 squared is 16. And then 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. So there's 2 times 3x times 4 as our middle number. Let's look at two more of the what to do if the a is just 1. X squared minus x minus 20. So again, we have ax squared plus bx plus c. So in this case, a is 1, b is a negative 1 because it's a negative x, and c is negative 20. We want it to multiply to equal c times a, which is just negative 20. And we want it to add to equal b, which is negative 1. Now you're just going to make a list of the factors of negative 20. 1 and negative 20. -1 and +20, 2 and -10, -2 and 10. You can't divide 20 by 3, you can divide it by 4, 4 and -5, -4 and +5, right? What of those add up to a -1? It's going to be this one, right? And because it was a 1x squared, we can just go straight to our answer, x plus 4 times x minus 5, or x minus 5 times x plus 4. If I factor that back out, x times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x, -5 times x is a -5x, and then -5 times a +4 is a -20. Oh, I apologize. Good, and then 4x minus 5x is just a -x minus 20. So that's how you would get back to your original equation. X squared minus x minus 20 becomes x minus 5 times x plus 4. Last one. I'll just do it down here. X squared plus 9x plus 14. So A is 1, B is 9, C is 14. Needs to multiply to equal A times C, which is 14. And it needs to add to equal B, which is 9. Good. All right, so the factors of 14 are 1 and 14, or 2 and 7, right? This is positive and this is positive, so we're sticking with the positive factors, that's it. 1 and 14 is 15, but 2 and 7 is 9, so we're going to go with 2 and 7. That just means it's x plus 2 times x plus 7, and that is the end of all the factoring examples we have for this lesson. But do email me if you have any questions. I'm happy to make another video of another couple of questions off of my math lab if you would like more examples. Thanks so much.